Hey guys, it's Kip here from KDC Marketing. And in today's video, I want to do something a little bit different and share my open and honest thoughts about AI and some of the things that I have experienced over the past few weeks that I think will be helpful for some of you. So, one of the things that I keep hearing all the time, and it seems like almost every day I'm bombarded with messages that say that AI is going to replace me and going to replace my job. And I work in the creative industry. I work in marketing and web design, but all of the creative industry right now are getting that same message. So if you're a copywriter, if you're a designer, if you're a marketer, everybody is telling you that AI is going to replace you. And it's hit home a little bit more to me because I've had some other experiences with friends and clients and that I'll share here in a second. So one of those things is I was in a Facebook group, as part of a Facebook group where they were talking about OpenClaw. And OpenClaw is an AI agent tool that can help you automate certain things. It's gained a lot of popularity. There are mixed feelings on it. Some people think it's great. Other people think it's unsafe and dangerous. So it depends on where you fall on the spectrum. But I was in this Facebook group to learn more about OpenClaw. And one of the things that the admin said was that they had replaced their whole SEO team. They were paying $750 a month with OpenClaw. And he was bragging about how awesome it was and showed a screenshot of SEMrush and the traffic visibility he was gaining. And I know SEO and I'm very familiar with SEMrush. So right away, I knew there were a bunch of red flags. On the screenshot, he was only tracking 4 keywords. And of those keywords, he was only looking at one little thing, the visibility of those keywords. And the traffic he was getting from those keywords was like 10 visits a month. So nothing substantial. And if on the surface, if you don't know SEO, you might think, wow, this is amazing. Look at all this money this person is saving. I need to figure out OpenClaw and have it do my SEO for me. So I have an SEMrush account. So I went in and checked and looked a little bit deeper because in SEMrush, you can see all the same data. It's all public data. So I put in the same domain name. And when I looked at it, sure enough, the traffic was going down. The rankings were going down, and SEMrush had labeled this person's website a link farm because the backlink profile was dangerous and toxic. And when I did a little bit more digging, I found that the links that were being linked to that website now were black hat SEO links. They were from a website called Dark Links and something you don't want to have any association with for your website. So on the one hand, this person is bragging that they've replaced their whole SEO team. And on the other hand, they're actively destroying their online reputation and damaging their website using OpenClaw. And probably in this person's defense, didn't even know that was going on. And that's the problem with a lot of these statements and a lot of these things is on the surface, they sound great, but when you do a little bit of digging, you find out that there's a lot more going on than what you see on social media. And the thing that was really interesting to me was the little tiny screenshot when the overall picture was just so different. And so what I decided to do, because I didn't feel like it was right for me to expose that person in that Facebook group. This was their Facebook group after all. They allowed me to join. They were just sharing some of the things that they were working on, is I left the group. I decided that rather than do those other things, leaving the group was the best and most healthy thing for me to do and not to start up an argument or anything like that. But you have to understand the underlying principles and the reasons why things work when you start to use AI. If you don't, you're going to get results like this person who is actively damaging probably years worth of work for their online reputation in a matter of months. And because that person didn't understand that, they didn't know that's what was happening. And so I think the AI can be a great tool when you understand the mechanics and what's going on under the hood and why something works. Just a few days ago, I actually watched a video from SEMrush themselves sharing how to create an SEO agent that could actually do what a normal SEO strategist or a normal SEO specialist would do. So if you understand those underlying principles and you understand why things work, then the AI becomes very effective. If you don't, it can do a lot of damage very quickly. The other place that I see this happening is in videos. People are choosing to outsource their videos to an AI clone. They want to make an AI clone of themselves so that that clone can just do the content and not them. I just don't understand that. Why would you want to clone yourself and outsource your unique voice and your ability to connect with your customers to an AI bot, to something that isn't real, to something that distorts the way that you look and the way that you sound? Why would you want to do that to your business? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Being real and being human is what brings people to your business. Connecting with people on a human level is what builds trust. And there's all these arguments out there that, well, you can't really discern between what's AI and what's human. And part of that is true. But why would you do that? Why would you actively choose to do that when you could open up your camera, hop on Loom or Riverside or whatever platform, Zoom even, Google Meet, create a video, open up your phone, record a video on your phone, and share your unique voice with the world? Why would you outsource that to AI? It just dilutes your message. It waters down everything. And what a lot of people find, and what I'm finding too, is that you think the AI is making you better. You think that you're getting better outputs. But then when you really look at it under a microscope, you realize that you're getting average, or in most cases, below average results. You're getting way under what you should. And so those arguments, those statements that people keep throwing out everywhere, that you're going to be replaced and your job's going to be non-existent, are just so exhausting and so inaccurate in so many cases. And a lot of times they're coming from people who are actively working with a marketing professional and a designer and other people they still need to do those things. If those solutions were so advanced and so robust, why do you still need those people? The reason is because they actually can't do the thing that they're hiring someone to do. And this isn't an attack on anybody. This isn't an anti-AI video. This is a observation that I have seen, that in order to get the real value out of AI, in my opinion, is you have to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it before you use it. If you don't understand those things, then you aren't going to get the same output as someone who does. If you don't know anything about web design and you have a web designer who understands web design and who's done it for 20 years, who's going to get the better output out of the AI? The advanced web designer will. And who's going to actually create something that will be valuable and not damage the business? The web designer will, because they understand why they're doing it. If you just go willy-nilly and do all this stuff, you're going to be like the guy who's got his website labeled a link farm now, and he's going to have to do some reputation management because of those choices to let OpenClaw just run rampant on his SEO and take over his SEO for his whole company. I just don't know why so many people are just outsourcing this stuff with such little oversight, with such little strategy, and the right guardrails in place to make sure that these things actually move the needle. So that's what I want to share in today's video. I think that AI can be really good. If you understand it, it can save you time. It can automate processes. It can do things that other tools might not be able to do. And I've shared a few of those things on this video, on my channel here. But this other stuff that people keep claiming just gets old really quickly. And I don't believe it. I don't believe the statements and arguments that are being made, because there's really no data to back it up. Show me a team that is just a powerhouse and getting all kinds of results, and maybe I'll start to believe. But there's also all the other things we haven't talked about, like token usage and the expense to those people, and so many other bigger conversations that I don't really want to delve into in this video. But it's clear to me that my stance on AI is that there are some things you don't want to let it do. There are some things you want to keep yourself. There are some things that by design you want to choose and decide to make sure that you own in your business. And those are the things that I share with my clients. Those are the things that you can do as a business owner that nobody else can do. Those are the things you have to do in order to continue to grow in the right way, the way that actually matters, the way that there's actually lasting value. There's actually connection, and not just these fun things that I don't even know if they're fun, these things to say on the surface. So that's what I have in today's video. And if this resonated with you, let me know. I'm sure there are going to be people in the comments who are going to say your job's going to be replaced, and you're obviously blind, and you're just naive, and all this stuff. And I don't care if people say that. I go ahead and say that. I hear it every day, anyways, from everyone. So that's what I have, and I'll see you in the next video.